Good evening and welcome to Empire Stadium, Wembley, for another large helping of the thrills, spills and drama of big-time speedway racing. Tonight, the World Team Championship, with Great Britain bidding for a hat-trick of wins against the might of Poland, Sweden and the USSR. Now, let's meet the teams. Tonight's host nation, Great Britain, for the first time represented by 5 Englishmen there. On the outside of your picture at the back there, the left-hand side, Ray Wilson, the skipper from Leicester. Next to him, the taller fellow on the middle of the back line there, Malcolm Simmons from Kings Lynn. And on his side there, we have Terry Betts, his skipper from Kings Lynn. Team manager Len Silver getting into the picture there. Kneeling down, the 2 whiz kids of British Speedway. On the left-hand side, we have Peter Collins from Bellevue, Manchester, age 19. And next to him, kneeling down, age 20, also from Leicester, Dave Jessup, on his first big Wembley occasion, the British side. The Poles, the nation with it's all happening in Speedway at the moment. On the left-hand side, Pavel Woloszek. Next to him with his arms folded there, Edward Jankarts. Then the young Polish whiz kid, Zenon Plech. Right on the right-hand side of your picture, just looking around there, the new world champion, second from right, Jerzy Sazaki, the sensation of the World Championship in Katowice a fortnight ago. And a reserve there, Jan Mucha, on the far right of your picture. The Poles, the mystery men from the Soviet Union. Tonight's surprise packet. On the left-hand side, they're just turning in there. We have Gregory Klivsnovsky. Next to him, we have Vladimir Gordiev. Then we have Vladimir Paznikov, commentator's nightmare. Finally, we have Alexander Pavlov and the tall reserve, Viktor Trofimov. The Russians. Sweden, the country that loves Wembley, the favourites for tonight's World Team Championship. On the left of your picture there, Bernie Persson from Cradley Heath there in the black country. Just moving across into the front there, their new reserve, Soren Stosten from Bellevue, Manchester. The boy with the long blonde hair there, Bent Janssen from Hackney Wick. Next to him, the handsome figure of Anders Michanek. We've seen him on ITV a lot this year. Their team manager is Arnie Bergstrom. And on the far right of the picture, the pin-up boy, the dishy boy on the right-hand side there from Wimbledon Dons, Tommy Janssen. Sweden, the slight favourites for tonight's championship. Well, just before we come into Heat 1 of this 1973 World Team Cup Championship, I'm going to bring in a man sitting next to me here who, despite his rich colonial accent, has ridden the Union Jack of Great Britain many times before in this championship. This is the first time, in fact, that we've had an all-English squad in the Great British side. Barry Briggs, the man who holds the Wembley track record. Barry, how do you see the prospects for this English side here tonight?
Oh, Dave, I think that if the stewarding is really up to scratch tonight and it's dead fair, I think the English boys, depending on how they go in their first 4 races, I think they've lost major, but I think the more than what the points count, I think it's what they'll get off their own captain, Ray Wilson. I think if Wilson goes good, they'll be right in with a chance, and it should be a very good match. And I can see them winning, but they've got to come good in these first 4 heats.
So we come up now to Heat 1 of the 1973 World Team Cup from Wembley, sponsored by the Sunday Mirror. There's an easy way of identifying the riders. From England, they have the blue helmet. That's Terry Betts on the inside. The Poles all ride white helmets. They're in the number 2 grid. That's Pavel Woloszek. The Swedes are in yellow and black striped helmets. That's Tommy Janssen in grid 3. And on the outside, the Russians will be wearing red helmets all night. And their representative in Heat 1 is Vladimir Gordiev. Heat 1. And it looks like Janssen's made the jump. Janssen for Sweden. Janssen for Sweden. And Terry Betts for Great Britain coming under him very, very hard. And there's trouble already. The pole Woloszek and Janssen clash coming out of that second corner. The pole went down like a poleaxe tree, and it's Terry Betts. The referee has not stopped the race. Terry Betts showing the way home now. The Russian is closing on him though. So it's Betts leads for Britain. Then the Russian Gordiev. Way back there we have Tommy Janssen after that first lap knock, but it looks like a tremendous start for Britain. Janssen made the start. Terry Betts came under him. Terry in trouble there, doing some rodeo work. And the Russian is right up on his back wheel now. Come on, Terry, settle down, son. And as they go over the line now, it's Terry Betts in a sensational, dramatic start to the 1973 World Championship. But it's Terry Betts wins for Britain, and Britain have got off to a flying start.
Here we are from the start, and a perfect start. The steward really kept them in. Janssen in the lead. Now you can see Betts come right underneath Janssen here, and this is, if the way it's going to go, Betts has really got it now. The pole is right under Janssen. He touches Janssen, he falls sideways, and he runs straight into the path of the Russian. The Russian actually gets past Janssen. Janssen's on one wheel, hit the fence. The Russian gets past Janssen, and the pole is laying on the track. And this is really good news for England for such a good start off for this heat.
And so we come on to Heat 2 of the 1973 World Team Cup. And here we have England's white hope, Peter Collins from Bellevue, Manchester. We saw him here on ITV in the international tournament final when he had a most dramatic run-off with a rider he's going to meet in this one from Sweden, Anders Michanek, one of the top stars in World Speedway this year. It's Michanek in grid 2, but on the inside it's Edward Jankarts from Poland. Next to him we have the mighty Mitch, Anders Michanek from Reading Racers and Sweden. Then we have the Russian Alexander Pavlov, and on the far outside Peter Collins from Great Britain. So an awful lot on this one between Michanek and Collins, and the Russian looked to have broken the tapes there. The Russian Pavlov indeed started before the tapes went up, and his exclusion light has come straight on. He looks like he's going to a wedding. All he's going to do is go back to the pits because you're out, mate. The three riders left in this race really are outstanding trackmen in the world today. On the inside, we have Edward Jankarts from Poland. Next to him, we have the mighty Michanek, Anders Michanek from Sweden. And on the outside, Peter Collins from Britain. And Michanek doing some rodeo stuff. And Collins has got a tremendous start from the outside. Collins has got a terrific start from Britain. Jankarts is in a bit of trouble. But here goes Peter Collins and the British crowd here in Wembley going mad. They're raising themselves to this 19-year-old from Bellevue, Manchester. In second place is Jankarts from Poland, and Michanek very, very uncharacteristically in the back at the moment. So this is tremendous stuff from this young Englishman. He's way far away in front now, leaving two of the track giants from Europe really in his wake there. Peter Collins building up a tremendous lead. Michanek's now coming back at Jankarts. Collins in front by a long way, in the battle on in second place at the moment because Michanek's come charging under Jankarts and left him all the fence in the world, really came under him like a ton of bricks there. So it's Collins in front, Michanek's come charging through into second place for Sweden. Jankarts is tailed up at the back, but the boy they're all rising to is this man with number 11 on his back, Peter Collins on his last lap for a tremendous win from start to finish for Great Britain. So Britain, another 3 points, 2 points for Sweden in second place for Michanek, only 1 for Poland, and what a start for this young British squad. Well, there he is, young Peter Collins from Bellevue, Manchester, and that Heat 2 ride from start to finish has been an historic one because it's a new track record at Wembley Stadium. Fantastic racing this. Len Silver in the red jacket, the team manager going in to congratulate him. Tremendous stuff from Peter Collins in only his second season of senior speedway. So there we have, with Peter Collins in the background, the new track record holder at Wembley after that winner of Heat 2, and there are the scores, and what a tremendous jet-propelled start for Great Britain. 2 races, 2 wins, 6 points. In second place, Sweden with 3 points, then USSR with 2, and Poland surprisingly trailing at the back, just 1 point. And so we come up to Heat 3 of the 1973 Sunday Mirror-sponsored World Team Championship. The one that all British fans are waiting to see, because in the white helmet we have the new world individual champion from Poland, the shop merchant from Katowice, Jerzy Sasakiel. How's he going to ride on this small, tricky Wembley track? That is the question which is buzzing around Empire Stadium at the moment. He's got some tough opposition because we've got Bent Jansen from Sweden on the inside, then Britain's skipper Ray Wilson, then Sasakiel, and on the outside for the USSR, Paznikov. And Sasakiel, the world champion, impatient to get away. There they go. It looks like Jansen's made the jump. No, it's the Russian from the outside. The Russian Paznikov got a tremendous start. And it's the world champion in the back at the moment. It's Paznikov for the USSR. Then Jansen. In third place, Wilson for Britain. And way in the back, the new champion. Well. So Russia lead from Sweden. The Russians making it very high, wide and handsome. Screaming out round the boards. They're very tight. Wilson trying very hard to bulldoze his way through. Jansen, I think, is going to get under this Russian. He's done it there as they go up this home straight. And here comes Wilson. They're in the most tremendous heat. Wilson diving through for Britain as well now. The Russian has been relegated to third place. This is a tremendous speedway race. But where is the new world champion? He's a mile behind. Jansen leads for Sweden, and now Wilson for Britain is stretching himself, and they're chasing this Swedish star. They're on the last lap now, and it's Jansen who loves this Wembley track, but Wilson is by far from finished and really has made the most tremendous effort. The Western Europeans rampant at the moment. Jansen over the line first, Wilson second, the Russian who made the jump third, and Jerzy Sazakio, the world champion, has gone from champ to chump in just 4 laps here at Wembley. There we go, after 3 races, Britain still in the lead with 8 points, Sweden creeping up, 6 points, just 2 adrift. The Eastern Europeans nowhere in sight at the moment. USSR on 3 in Poland. What has happened to the pulverising cold? Just 1 point, but a long way to go yet. And so heat 5 of this World Team Championship from Empire Stadium, Wembley. And an interesting one in quartet to be as well, because on the inside we have Britain skipper Ray Wilson from the Leicester Lions up there at Blackburn Road Stadium, Leicester. Next to him we have this very impressive Russian Gregory Klifnosky, the Pole, Edward Jankarts, for my money the most classy of all the Poles, struggling a bit in his first ride. And on the outside we have Ben Janssen from Sweden. So there we go again for heat 5. And Jankarts, his hands up, he's in trouble there on the tapes. And away they go, and who's made the jump? It is indeed Jankarts. On the outside it's Janssen for Sweden. Wilson is through there on the inside, but it's the pole. Jankarts that leaves. A tremendous shot of Wilson diving under him. Just missed his back wheel there. Didn't find a very good corner. They're all flying through the frame there now, but it's Jankarts for Poland, and Wilson going after him now. Jankarts leads, then Wilson, then Janssen, and way at the back, the Russian Klifnosky, and Wilson coming through there now. Wilson diving under him, the pole's held him back. Now that was a tremendous piece of corner, but Wilson's gone through, and this British crowd jumping and waving their Union Jacks. This is really fighting stuff from this all-English squad. And now Janssen has slipped past Jankarts in the second place. Well, people turn around and say you don't see passing in Speedway. The man who started off first is now in 3rd place. And Wilson for Britain and England. And they're on their last lap now, and Wilson is again bringing a super race for Britain. Really, these English boys, there was a lot of complaints when they dropped Ivan Major from the squad, but these boys are really making the Union Jack flutter proudly. Wilson wins. In 2nd place it was Janssen. In 3rd place Jankarts, and Klifnosky after a tremendous opening ride way at the back. All happening, drama. Who knows what's going to happen next in Speedway? Britain are in front, and the Wembley crowd are happy at the moment.
We see Jankarts of Poland leading Wilson out of the corner, but Jankarts doesn't look hard enough. He's gone into the corner wide, looked behind, seen Wilson, put himself in a disadvantage. He's run wide. He looks as though he's going to get the run on Wilson, but I think psychologically he just doesn't want to race Wilson out of the corner, and Ray goes on for a good win and puts England in an even stronger position.
Well, a heartening sight for British fans here. Great Britain with 13 points after 5 races, well in front of Sweden with 9, the USSR on 6, and the Poles, who won the world individual title just a fortnight ago, way back. And they're taking this live tonight on Polish television. There'll be some happy faces in Warsaw. Barry, what's happened to the Poles, mate?
Oh, they're completely under, Dave. They lead the last race. They don't seem to have any determination in their riding at all. But as I said at the start, I think that Wilson and his boys, once they got on top, if they can keep the pressure on, they're going to stay there tonight, and they pulled a little bit further away from Sweden, and their hopes look really good.
And so we come on to heat 6 of the World Team Cup, and the man to watch this time, in my opinion, on the inside, Anders Michanek from Sweden. He's like grease lightning from the starting gate as a rule. He loves this inside grid. That's Anders in the yellow and black striped helmet. Next to him we have Malcolm Simmons from Kings Lynn and Great Britain. Then a Russian, Vladimir Paznikov, in grid 3 in the red helmet, and on the outside Pavel Volashek, who bit the dust in his first ride from Poland, on the outside grid in the white helmet. So here we go, heat 6 of the 1973 World Team Championship from Wembley Stadium. Let's just watch Michanek. Michanek playing ducks and drakes, dodging a bank. Tremendous start from Michanek, just his front wheel off the ground, but again it's Volashek from Poland who made a great start on the outside, and coming charging through in the red helmet is Paznikov from the USSR. At the moment it's Simmons at the back for Britain. So it's Michanek leads the Eastern Europeans, and Simmons still in touch at the back as they string themselves out on this second lap. Michanek, then Paznikov. In 3rd place it's Volashek, and Simmons now making a big effort to try and get under him on this second lap. Michanek leads, then Paznikov, Wallachek in third place. Plasnikov looked him in a bit of trouble with his bike there. And really and truly, this is a bit of a disappointment for Britain. And Simmons is doing the big dive around the outside, but we still follow the leader. It's Michanek in front, and Simmons has got through at the back. You probably heard the roar of the crowd. He's past the pole. He's going after now the Russian in second place. But it's Michanek. Michanek for Sweden from start to first now on his last lap. I said he loves this inside grid. And Michanek now riding an immaculate line with all the cool, calm assurance that we know of him in British Speedway this year. Michanek, when he gets in front, doesn't make mistakes. So Michanek over the line for Sweden. Then the Russian Plasnikov in third place, a fighting third place from Malcolm Simmons. And the Pole Wallachek at the back. So here we go then for the restart of Heat 8 with Collins on the inside for Britain. Next to him, Vladimir from the Soviet Union. Then Bernie Pearson on the outside, the 1973 world champion, Curtesy from Poland. And again, there's trouble there. Everybody really are so nervous. They're so jumpy. And away they go this time. And I think it's Collins again from the inside. It's Collins and the Swede. There, Pearson trying to come charging around the outside. Collins and Pearson together down this back straight. Collins has made it on the inside. Pearson there going very wide and switching back to try and dive under him on the inside. But it's Collins holding him back for Great Britain. Collins and Pearson in front. In third place is the Russian, and Zenon again tailed off at the back. Collins leads for Britain. A very, very hard first lap he rode there. Really and truly, this is a tremendously pretty, gutsy performance from this young British squad here tonight. The Swedes, we reckon, were going to pulverise us, but at the moment, Britain are really showing them the way home. And this is the man who is evocative of this spirit in the British camp. Peter Collins almost missed that corner completely, corrected it very, very quickly indeed, and didn't seem to lose a yard, despite the fact he really did make a bad mistake on that pit corner. He's made another mistake on this top corner. This Wembley track, one feels, is cutting up. And Pearson now is only just about 5 lengths behind him and still far from finish. But here goes Collins. Over the line now, a tremendous win for Peter Collins. Raises his hand in salute to the crowd. Collins in first place. In second place, Sweden through Bernie Pearson. In third place, Vladimir Gordiev. And the Pole Zenon, the new world champion, absolutely out of the picture. So after 8 races, midway through this 1973 World Team Championship, that is the score. Great Britain now 5 points in front of Sweden, with the USSR in third place with 10 points, and Poland trailing way at the back with 5. And so now we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with some more thrills, spills and excitement from Wembley Stadium. So welcome back to Wembley Stadium for the second half of the World Team Championship. We come on to Heat 9, and on the inside here on Heat 9 we have from Poland, Jerzy Zenon there in the white helmet, the World Speedway champion who really has been completely out of touch so far. Next to him from Sweden we have Tommy Janssen in the yellow and black helmet in grid 2. Then we have in the blue helmet Malcolm Simmons in grid 3 for Great Britain. On the outside we have Alexander Pavlov from the USSR. Heat 9. And the new world champion in place to get away. And they're away to a clean break this time, and who's made the jump? It's Simmons for Britain. Simmons in front. Then we have Tommy Janssen from Sweden, the Russian current high wide Hansen trying to get round in there, but misses out. And once again, Western Europe lead Eastern Europe. And some dicing and ducking going on at the back there between the two Eastern Europeans, but it's still Simmons in front for Great Britain. Second place Janssen, who just saw the Russian coming bulldozing underneath Zenon there on the top corner here at Empire Stadium. Simmons leads. Simmons made a tremendous start from grid 3, and Malcolm Simmons for Britain. Britain stretching their lead now, looking very good, looking very authoritative, looking completely in command. It's a tricky track to ride this Wembley, but Simmons from King's Lynn seems to have it weighed up. Tommy Janssen from Sweden going way, way out there in the dirt. trying to find something extra, but has absolutely gained nothing at all on Simmons. When you get in front here, you make your own line and you can really look good, and Simmons has looked the total Speedway rider in this one. Simmons now round the last corner here. He's got time almost to ease off. Simmons over the line for Britain. In second place, it's Janssen from Sweden. In third place, we had Alexander Pavlov from the USSR, and for his third coconut tonight, Jerzy Suzakior from Poland. There he is, the winner, Malcolm Simmons. He's beaten the world champion out of sight, and Britain now really look to be well on their way towards this 1973 World Team Championship and a hat-trick of wins. So after 9 races, wave those Union Jacks. Great Britain in front, 22 points. Then Sweden on 16. The USSR in third place on 11. And Poland, the team we all feared, absolutely out of the picture, 5 points. So heat 10, we should have plenty of fun in games in this one. On the inside from Russia, Vladimir Gordiev. Next to him, we have from Poland, Zenon Plech. In the third grid from Great Britain, Ray Wilson. On the outside, Anders Michanek. All these boys really know how to ride Speedway. A lot on Wilson's shoulder now. The Swedes really must make an effort to get back in contention if they're going to win this World Team Cup. Here we go, heat 10. Oh, the pole there, Plech was impatient, so was Michanek. Michanek went up, gave them a nudge, and Plech went. And away they go, and Michanek's made the start from the outside. Wilson's in second place. The Eastern Europeans were left there at that start, so it's Michanek in front, then Wilson, and everybody going sideways on that second corner, and Michanek leads for Sweden. Wilson's in second place. The Russian is in third place. The Russian Gordiev is in third place, and the pole is packed up. So Michanek leads for Sweden. Wilson in second place. There is Anders Michanek. He has almost dominated British Speedway this year because as a Swedish international, he rides for Reading Racers on a Monday night down there at Tilehurst Stadium. He really has been a superb performer this year, and everybody thought he was in with a great chance for the 1973 individual title. But a tremendous disappointment in Katowice, only 6 points. Really, he didn't do anything like his normal form in Poland. And as they're now on their last lap, Michanek really now showing all his class, all his command. Absolutely time in hand, no trouble at all. Wilson has ridden a nice steady race in second place, but it's Michanek over the line for Sweden. Then Wilson for Great Britain. In third place, it was the Russian Gordiev. So with 10 races gone, this healthy crowd again at Wembley, very happy now with Britain at 24 points, stretched into a nice comfortable 5-point lead over Sweden in second place with 19. The USSR have been impressive, but not too spectacular. 12 points, they're in third place. The Poles, the surprise of the night, nowhere in sight, only 5 points. Britain now easing away, and these last 4 or 5 races really are going to be vital if this young British squad are going to hang on to this World Team Cup. And so heat 11 with the Pole Pavel Woloszek on the inside. Next to him, the unbeaten Peter Collins from Great Britain, the new Wembley track record holder after his first ride win. In the third grid, we have Tommy Janssen from Sweden. On the outside, we have Gregory Klivsnovsky from the USSR. So the boy to watch possibly in the second grid there, Peter Collins from Great Britain, and again a tremendous start from Collins. He really anticipated that one, and he's hit that first corner in front. Gets into a bit of bother, corrects it. In second place it's Janssen and the Russian dicing and nudging each other and elbowing. But Janssen's come under him very, very hard indeed. And he's come under Collins as well, and very nearly ran right over the top of him. Collins has held on. So the two young men of Western European Speedway, Collins, down goes the Russian in third place. Collins sliding these bikes, remember they have no brakes, they have no gears, and they're averaging something in excess of about 49, 50 mile an hour at the moment around this very, very deep, tricky, difficult to ride Wembley Bowl. But Collins really has got it weighed up. He hasn't been beaten so far, and unless he does something absolutely diabolical, he's not going to be beaten in this one. Over the line for Peter Collins. Great one for Britain again. In second place, Janssen. In third place, it's the Pole Woloszek, a mile behind. The Russian fell. We just missed him falling. But Collins has won, and this British crowd really are celebrating. The disconsolate face of Eastern Europe. There he is, Gregory Klivsnovsky slid gracefully to earth on the second lap, and he has a long, long walk back to the pits.
And here we see Collins leading Ben Jansen into the pit corner once again. He makes a bit of a blue going in. Jansen gets underneath of him, and Jansen could have forced him coming out of this corner, but Collins just doesn't panic at all, and you can see Jansen hits dirt, gets on one wheel, squeezes Collins up against the fence, but young Collins just keeps it running, and Jansen's got to shut it off, and he pulls away for another well-earned win.
So heat 12 on the inside, we have Paznikov from the Soviet Union. Next to him we have the Pole Yankart in the white helmet. In the third grid we have Terry Betts from Great Britain and Kingsley, and on the outside Bernie Pearson from Sweden. So Britain need a nice, steady, consistent performance for the rest of this meeting. Yankart's made a tremendous start in his last race in Grid 2. He's well worth watching. So here we go, Heat 12 with a lot on Terry Betts' shoulders. Away they go. A very level start. Who's made it? Terry Betts coming through, bulldozing his way through. But it's the Eastern Europeans there in the front of the moment, the Russian and Yankart, and Terry Betts is squeezed out on the outside, not the best position in the world. On the inside now, a tremendous shot of the two Eastern Europeans. That's Paznikov and Yankart, and Terry Betts just nudging his wheel into the picture there. And at the back there is Ben Pearson for Sweden. In line of beam here, Terry Betts comes charging through past the pole. Get out of my way, son. I'm going through, and now he's going after Paznikov. Betts in second place after Paznikov from the Soviet Union. In third place, it looks to me as though Pearson's come past the pole as well. But the crowd now really rising to Terry Betts, trying to urge him on, trying to get him back on terms with this Paznikov. There's a very, very wide turn, and Betts has gone through there. Oh, very, very lovely to watch. Pretty stuff. The Russian left a hole. You could have taken a double-decker bus through, and he's done it again. And when you're in against the class of Terry Betts and Ben Pearson, and Ben Pearson now coming under Betts, and Betts coming back, and it was they go over the line together now. Well, that was a very close one. You saw it for yourself. Very, very tight indeed. Betts came through, then Pearson came through. They went over the line together, but I think it was Pearson from Sweden that won it from Terry Betts from Great Britain. So with just 4 races left of this 1973 Sunday Mirror-sponsored World Team Championship, Britain now really must just hang on. They're 5 points clear on 29, Sweden on 24, the Eastern European nations, very disappointing, USSR 13, Poland, the team with the new world champion, nowhere in sight. Britain now with 4 races left must just steady down, and this World Team Cup can be theirs for the 3rd time. And so we come on now to Heat 13. On the inside, Gregory Klivnovsky from the USSR. Next to him, Jerzy Syzakiel, the world individual champion, who really has been shown up for what we all perhaps feared he was. Just an Eastern European on a lucky day at Katowice. Anyway, he can get prove us wrong. Next to him, we have in yellow and black from Sweden, Anders Michanek, and on the outside from Great Britain, Terry Betts. So Heat 13, once again, Klivnovsky, Syzakiel, Michanek and Betts. And that is the world champion, that is, and he must be excluded for that one. What a night at Wembley for the new world champion. 3 duck eggs, 3 zeros in his first 3 starts. He's broken the tapes. I'm sure he's going to be excluded. I think I can see his white exclusion lights. And this is not a night that he will remember with any relish whatsoever. Barry, what do you think's happened to Syzakiel tonight? We saw him in Poland. He was dynamite there. He really has looked like a little boy lost tonight, though, hasn't he?
Yes, well, at practice on Thursday, Dave, he had an unfortunate incident going into the first corner. He fetched over his teammate Muka and cut his leg very badly, severed a blood vessel in it, and I think he's just completely at sea now. He's lost all his confidence, and he's just complete nervous wreck.
Barry, I think it's also safe to say that he wouldn't be riding at all without your help, because I think you delivered a new machine and some spares up to him to enable him to ride tonight. Isn't that correct? This
is the unbelievable thing. He's the world champion. He bent all his bike, and nobody looked as though they was going to do anything for him, and we managed to dig up the pieces to make his bike good again, but it doesn't seem to have helped him very much.
Well, a very sad sight. Jerzy Syzakiel, the new world champion, who really can still manage a watery smile, but he really must be really down in the dumps at the moment. So the restart of Heat 13, unlucky Heat 13 for Jerzy Zizakio from Poland, excluded for tape breaking. Only 3 starters. On the inside, it's Gregory Kliznovsky from the USSR. Just a little bit of trouble there in the pits for Big Greg, but he's back in action now, coming into line on the inside grid. Next to him there in the yellow and black helmet in grid 3, we have Anders Michanek from Sweden. On the outside, Terry Betts from Great Britain. Michanek only beaten once so far. This is his last start. He has 8 points. Sweden, with a monumental effort, can still get back in. And away they go, and Betts snaking wildly away from the outside. Michanek it was, as always, has inevitably made a tremendous start. Michanek leads. Betts, having done a little bit of a Tennessee wig walk at the start, is chasing after him. The Russian is in 3rd place, Kliznovsky in terrible trouble, but the smooth style of Anders Michanek from Sweden once again shows in front at Wembley Stadium. Into this pits corner, he rides almost an identical line lap after lap. Just watch him now as he comes over the line. This is Michanek. He goes in very steadily. He doesn't move very far off that line now. He just comes back in and just chops his corner. You can see every lap. I'm sure you can put a 2-bob bit there and he'd run over it lap after lap. He hasn't made a mistake so far. This man really is the complete stylist when he's in front. He's on his last lap. Terry Betts is in 2nd place for Britain. Here comes Michanek again. Watch him chop back on this corner. Down the back straight. Beautiful stylist, no trouble at all, economical. He makes it look so easy, but you try doing it in your backyard. Michanek for Sweden, over the line for 3 points. Terry Betts in 2nd place, the Russian 3rd, way back. But England and Sweden, Britain and Sweden rather, really dominating this Wembley event. So there we have the scores with just 3 races left, and Britain now really must not drop any clangers because they're still only 4 points in front of Sweden. Britain on 31, Sweden on 27. The others you can forget about, USSR and Poland, way at the back. It's all between Britain and Sweden, and the British team really must consolidate now. They mustn't make any mistakes. And so, as the rain comes down at Empire Stadium, you can just see it in the arc lamps there above the start, coming down quite heavily now, making the track icy and dicey, and Britain must not make any mistakes. So really, still plenty of drama and excitement and atmosphere here at Wembley. And this one we have on the inside from Sweden, Tommy Jansson. Next to him, we have the Russian Paznikov. In the 3rd grid, we have Peter Collins from Bellevue, and Britain unbeaten so far. And on the outside, the Polish sensation, Zenon Plech. So here we go with Heat 14. Collins again made the jump, did he? I don't know. The Russian has come under him very hard, but it's Peter Collins from Britain. Oh, what a lovely little rider this boy is. Peter Collins in front for Britain. The crowd hopping and jumping about in salute of this young 19-year-old whiz kid from Manchester. In 2nd place, it's the Russian Paznikov. In 3rd place, it's the Pole Plech, and at the back it's Tommy Jansson from Sweden. So Collins with lots of time. He loves to keep the throttle screwed wide open. He doesn't mind roaming off the line. He just keeps it all going, and he keeps it all going there on one wheel. But he has also ridden a great deal on Britain's grass track, so he doesn't mind them rough and slippery. He's a real little tiger, this boy. You can see the Russian in 2nd place there. You can just see how wet it's getting, because the Russian there was very badly filled in with wet shell, and it's Plech from Poland chasing hard, almost lost control. There's Collins in front. The big battle's in 2nd place. The Russian's done a very, very wide turn that time, and chops back across. Collins in front. Collins in front. There's Peter Collins flying through the frame in beautiful style. In 2nd place, it's a tremendous battle, and just on the line it's Plech who gets up on the inside of Paznikov. But Peter Collins, unbeaten tonight in this World Team Cup. What a tremendous performance from this young man. Peter Collins, in his first World Cup final, has been unbeaten. He's broken the Wembley track record, and he really has been an eye-opener for Great Britain at Wembley Stadium tonight. Peter Collins, the lads are out. Barry, what about this kid? He really is a world champion in the making. He must be.
Yes, Dave. Well, you can see he's getting the bump for getting his full points in a World Team Cup. There's not very many boys that have done this. There's probably only about 4 or 5 riders. And for somebody so young, it's fantastic. He's been really hot off the start tonight. He's used his head. He's had a couple of boys really close to him, and he's stuck with it the whole way. And These are probably the biggest reason, plus the rest of the English team, why England looks as though they're going to carry it off now.
Well, there he is with a delighted smile on his face. The curly-haired kid from Lyman, Cheshire, Peter Collins. And if you think he's tremendous, I'm told he's got two younger brothers who are 14 and 15, who are even greater than him. Well, we look forward to seeing them at Wembley, because I'm quite sure we're going to see this young man a great deal more at Wembley and in International Speedway. So there we go, with just 2 races left. Britain now are in an unassailable position on 34 points. Even if they do something daft, the Swedes can't catch them on 27, USSR 15, Poland 8. Rule Britannia, we've won the World Team Cup. And with the lightning really outdoing the press photographers, really lighting up the scene here at Wembley, we come on to the last race of the 1973 World Team Cup. And you can see in Heat 16 on the inside, we have Bernie Persson from Sweden. Next to him we have the Russian reserve, Viktor Trofimov. Then we have Poland's Pavel Woloszek, and on the outside for Britain, Ray Wilson. Here we go, the last heat of the 1973 World Team Cup. And it's Persson who's made the start for Poland. Wilson absolutely was ridden wide on the first corner, but he's come charging back on the inside of Woloszek. So it's Persson for Sweden, then the Russian reserve Trofimov doing some one-wheel stuff there coming out of the pits corner. Wilson's in 3rd place, Wilson's still chasing hard. Persson then leads for Sweden. Then we have Trofimov from the Soviet Union. Wilson really looks very badly filled in. In Speedway language, filled in means you've got a face full of mud from the back wheel of a rider in front of you. Persson in front is getting nobody's dirt because he's a mile in front and just breathing fresh air. Wilson still, bless his heart, fighting hard, chasing after the Russian, but he really has got very, very dirty. You can't see very much, and when you're dicing around at 50 miles an hour, it's advisable to be able to see. So Bernie Persson on the last lap of this 1973 World Team Cup Championship at Wembley. A mile in front, the rain really is coming down quite heavily now. Not the best conditions for dicing it up on a speedway bike. Persson coming through the frame, then Trofimov in 2nd place. Wilson's in 3rd place. He knows Britain have done enough to win anyway. He wasn't going to risk his neck. So Persson finishes with a flourish for Sweden. 3 points for Sweden, 2 for Trofimov, the Russian reserve, and 1 for Ray Wilson. But that's enough for Great Britain. Britain have done a hat-trick of World Cup wins here at Wembley tonight for the 1973 World Team Cup Championship final. And so we have the final totals of the Sunday Mirror-sponsored World Team Championship from Wembley. The victors for the 3rd year in succession, Great Britain, very impressively with an all-English squad, 37 points. In 2nd place, the Swedes on 31. Then we come to the rather disappointing Eastern European nations, USSR on 20, and the Poles with the new world champion on a 0, right at the bottom of the list with 8 points. And so as the triumphant all-English Great British squad come around to the cheers of a very big Wembley crowd, the winners of the 1973 World Team Cup, they're absolutely knocked out. They're delighted, a hat-trick of wins in this major speedway competition. We say goodnight to you on behalf of myself, Dave Lanning, and co-commentator Barry Briggs. We have more big-time speedway on ITV in October with the British League Riders' Championship final from Bellevue, Manchester. We look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, a happy sight for all British speedway fans, the winners of the 1973 World Cup, Great Britain, and with that, good night to you from Wembley Stadium.